Hey, seems like I'm talking about German lists all the time these days. We are trying to make Germans competitive, and this is an attempt from Gordon John Smith, who is a South African player, competitive player, and whom I've been chatting with on and off for the last few years, basically. Um, I very much hope that South Africans soon join us at the WTC so I can get to meet you face to face, Gordon, and so we can have a game. That would be awesome. But until we do, let's talk lists. Um, this one is a 1,000 point late war German 14 order dice list. It is a general reinforced platoon, so it is an attempt to make something that would be usable in most tournament settings. Um, Gordon, he calls it his sledgehammer, so it has some theme but also some bite. And let's talk through the list and see if we can improve it anywhere. Right, so he starts out with the second lieutenant, regular. This is a tax you pay. That is just the way it goes. But Gordon has been listening to what's been happening around the world, I think. He is using double assistance, so it becomes a three-man unit, and of course giving them assault rifles. Sorry about this, my phone is going all off. There's the chat running amok. So this lieutenant, instead of just being a tax, he becomes a small unit that is actually usable and a threat. I really like this. It was an idea that I got introduced to by the Germans and the Spanish, and I am really looking into maybe doing this in the future. I don't think I'll do it with my Brits. I need the points for Gurkhas, right? But with other armies, especially maybe my Czechoslovakians, I am really looking into making my lieutenant into a bigger unit, because it gives you an extra infantry slot. It gives you like extra units basically you can do stuff with. I like this idea. Let's see if we can make it work. A flamethrower team, regular. Gordon often does this. He writes like small groups of units. I really like this way of thinking, by the way. So the first group of unit is his lieutenant, 3-man, a regular flamethrower team, and a heavy field car which can transport them all. This is a small, deadly unit because they can move up, get out with both of the units, and then start flaming one thing, shooting up another thing, or even better, moving up, getting the lieutenant out, spraying down a large unit, giving them a few pins, and then the flamethrower gets out and wipes the unit clean because now they have a pin from the lieutenant, and the flamethrower will most likely make them fail their morale test. So really like this unit. It's a good double punch unit that has it really has some bite to it. Does become expensive, of course. Yes, field car plus lieutenant just to get the flamethrower to work even better. But you have two units up in the enemy's back line. I like it. I like it a lot. He does the same with the next group of units, which is 5 Storm Pioneers, veterans, 3 SMGs, 1 Flamethrower, 1 Panzerfaust. This is a standout combo. I really see this a lot. It's really a brilliant way of running veteran flame engineer units and then putting them, as he does, into a half track, the SDKF set 250/1, which has the MMG and Armor 7. So it's the small Hanomag. The thing here is you can go through area terrain. You can park it in a ruin, and you can sit there and you can shoot out. It's brilliant. I love it. It is expensive. 75 points for the transport. That is expensive, but this is what the Germans have that's special. If we can make this work, if we can make the Hanomags, the half tracks, work, I think we have something that's unique and only for Germany, basically. So I think this is the right way to look. We need to make them less expensive, though. So let's think about that one. But I like having the MMG on it. I think we could even go to inexperienced. I don't know if this is inexperienced or regular. I'm sorry, Gordon, you haven't noted that down. Next group of units. And this is a group of backline infantry units. So he has 6 Waffen SS veterans, with 3 of them having assault rifles, 3 regular rifles, and 2 Panzerfausts. So a good unit to push up towards the center, towards the middle line. This is a skirmish unit, basically, that can push up and be a threat to basically anything. 2 Panzerfausts. I would even say you can cut back on one of those Panzerfausts. Yes, you are pushing that unit up to where they can be usable, but if you need the points for something else, you can get away with just running 1 Panzerfaust. The next unit is a 7-man Heer Grenadier regulars with an LMG 1 assault rifle, which I don't think you need in this unit, and then rifles. This is a classic backline holder. I really like these units. I would wish that the LMG was less expensive. If you can, buy Schützen squads instead. I know these, then you need permission to use like units from theater selectors, but the Schützen squad, you get the LMG for more or less free. So I'm more of a fan of those units, but it is a good backline holder, and it does become less pricey when you're buying German LMGs. Ooh, he has 2 of these units, 2 backline holders, each with an LMG sitting there shooting out. That is pretty good. That is pretty good. But here comes my point. These units cost 95 points for backline holders, right? The next unit that Gordon buys is a 6-man Strafbat inexperienced unit. Rifles, Schurke, 24 points. If you're just going backline holders, you can get away with, and I know Gordon and I, we've talked about even like getting away with all running the Feldjäger, or was it Feldgendarmerie? There's one of those units where you have that combo where you can sort of ignore the Schurke rule. So running all Schurkers, all Strafbat, large units, that is an interesting idea. And I think if you're just going backline holders, you can get away with running Strafbats as your backline. I've seen this done successfully by the Germans, by the Spanish players. They are really good at that. I myself am not a fan of using Strafbats, but it is a very cheap way of getting order dice and rifles into your army. And they can go in ambush like anyone else can. You can just leave them there, right? Now, into the support section. The support section is also very, very interesting. Again, he sort of groups them in 2 sections. One which is the mobile support section, and one which is the immobile support section. In the mobile support section, he has the HTU H44. This is it's the Stug with a howitzer, a medium howitzer. And it has the remote-fired MMG on top. It has armor 9. It is pretty good, but very, very expensive. For me, going with the Polizei machine gun pillbox type of tank is still better, but I do like especially tanks that has the howitzers because they're so usable compared to tanks that has an anti-tank gun, right? So I do think you can get away with running the STUH medium howitzer. You can do that, especially because it has armor 9. Not many things actually are equipped to deal with armor 9 on a regular basis. Then you need to get dedicated anti-tank assets into range, and that can be difficult. Along with this, he runs a motorcycle with MMG, machine gun, recce, turn on the spot, and pedal-mounted MMG. Very, very usable. And for 40 points, I don't see any reason why anyone would ever buy a fixed machine gun, medium machine gun, when you can get, for 10 points less, recce, turn on the spot. You are a vehicle all of a sudden, and it's pintle mounted, so it shoots 360. Why would you buy a fixed one? I don't get it. It's yeah. Anyways, this is a really little good. It's really a good choice for an armored car for the Germans. Yes, it's open topped. Yes, it's soft skinned and it dies easily, but it's so annoying and it's so fun to use. Very, very maneuverable. Very, very like it can really get around the table. So I really like the motorcycles. More and more, I find myself drawn to motorcycles. Guess it's my age. Then we come to the immobile stuff, and the one thing that Germany has that's really really good is it has very easy access to multi-rocket launchers. So of course Gordon is bringing the Nebelwerfer. For 52 points inexperienced, that is a steal. One Nebelwerfer is good, two maybe even good as well, three too many. Gordon buys one. I like it, Gordon, because what that will mean is that the enemy will split up. What you cannot do against a mobile assault force is split up. So, and you're forcing the enemy to deploy on a wider scale because otherwise your Nebelwerfer will hit them. I think this list, in order for the Nebelwerfer to be fully effective, and in order for you to exploit this more, I think it needs one more push unit, one more of those half tracks with Storm Pioneers. Then you can have two half-track Storm Pioneers and one heavy field car with a flamer, all of them rushing one flank, getting out 3 flamethrowers, killing stuff, and then you won because you basically destroy one flank because he daren't like clump together and protect his own assets. So I think this list needs one more, but I can't find the points unless maybe we can do something with that stew and cut it down to a Polizei tank and then find some extra points. So, and the final thing is, of course, a sniper team, regular, pretty good, pretty standard. You can cut this out if you want to in a very mobile list, but it's just such a useful tool to have in your toolbox. And a medium mortar, inexperienced, again, super useful tool. And the combo with the sniper is actually pretty good because the medium mortar inexperienced is pretty vulnerable to snipers itself. But if you have your own sniper, then you can sort of protect it so that it can shoot. I like the list. I like the attempt. I find there are many things here that really work. Again, one of the things that I have with Germans is that most of it becomes expensive, and maybe too expensive. But I do enjoy the attempts here. I do enjoy the mental process of seeing if we can make something that actually works. So yeah, thank you so much for the list, Gordon, and good luck to your friend who's going to use it. Cheers.